So, most of you think the NBA runs on high-flying dunks and far-off three-pointers, but that's really not the case, at least not for us. Now, don't get us wrong, we love all that, but something that really gets us going is handles, to be precise, crossovers.
Morant against McConnell, pick and roll, Morant, oh my word, holy cow, oh my, jackhammer, look how far back he cocks it, look at.
Made famous by Allen Iverson, crossovers are the heart and soul of balling. Iverson's crossover is the most imitated, rarely duplicated iconic crossover of all time. Now, let's start this list off with a newbie in the league.
Sharp loses Tice on the step back for three, it's good.
Shaedon Sharpe, the Canadian shooting guard for the Trailblazers, is one of the hottest new prospects in the league. Drafted just last year as the number 7 overall pick by the Trailblazers, he is one hot player to look out for, scoring a solid 27 points on the night followed by 6 assists. Sharpe was looking slick, but nothing could have prepared us for the disrespect he showed Daniel Theis on the night, almost sending him back home with his sharp handles, more specifically the nasty crossover. The man really is sharp.
In 5 games, that's 5 per game. Here's a step back. Halliburton.
Let that go on. That's a shake 'em up with stop.
Talk about putting someone to sleep. If you want tips, call our guy Tyrese Halliburton. He's a stone cold killer. Drafted in 2020 as the point guard for the Indiana Pacers, Halliburton is a guy who doesn't have a nice bone in his body when he's out on the court. Our boy sent the Pistons guard Osar Thomas sleeping and finished him off seconds later with a massive early 3 in the second quarter. But the strut afterward was what really stole the show for us. The Indies point guard finished solid in their home ground with a solid 26 points and 6 assists on the scorecard.
This is screens to get Brooks off of him. Oh, he crossed him over. Let Brooks fly by. Oh, no.
Stephen Curry is arguably one of the best players of all time, and every time he sets foot on the court, know that he's about to destroy some people. Curry has been the number 1 shooter in the league for quite some time now, but the man doesn't just shoot well, his handles are off the charts. Just a few weeks ago, Steph went crazy on the court, dropping back-to-back threes on the Rockets. But that wasn't enough for him. It never is it? He followed up in the final quarter with a humiliating crossover against Dillon Brooks. And to add insult to injury, he sent flying to the other side with a pump fake and finally finished him off with his 4th back-to-back three-pointer.
Reeves goes away from the screen, puts Powell on the deck, and hits the shot.
Well, there's going to be a highlight of that.
Austin Reeves is the man who went undrafted in the 2021 NBA draft after declining to be selected as 42nd overall by the Detroit Pistons, opting instead to sign a 2-way contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm guessing everyone else in the league is feeling pretty stupid right now, given how well he's performing. Reeves plays as the center for the Lakers right now and does the team justice, as seen here. The young gun sent the Clippers guard Norman Powell kneeling to the side, with what has to be one of the cleanest crossovers this season, finishing off with a jumper late in the third quarter.
George in his sea of flame and smoke down the lane, off the window, and he continues to smolder. 23 for Paul George.
Paul George is practically a living legend in the league right now. He's an 8-time NBA All-Star and a 6-time member of the All-NBA team, as well as a 4-time member of the NBA All-Defensive team. So he has the resume, and even at the ripe age of 33, he still hasn't fallen off, and this play shows us just why. Crossing over Zeke Naji and leaving him in the dust, moving on to take on the most of the team alone, and still scoring? Talk about a one-man army.
Lakers don't have a foul to give. Morant against Schroeder. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Morant attacks, lays it up and in with 1/10 of a second.
Ja Morant is probably the most infamous name in the game right now. Morant is a superstar with his aggressive personality and jaw-dropping handles. Morant was the 2nd overall pick in the 2019 NBA draft by the Grizzlies. He's been controversial in the past with issues both on and off the court, but no one's ever said he wasn't a true baller. With the skills to match people like Kyrie Irving in handling, Ja crossed over Alex Fudge late in the third quarter like he was nothing, finishing it off with a buzzer-beating layup on the big guy Anthony Davis. The man was the star of the show after that win.
Harden is picked up by Brown. Harden on the move. What a move to tie the game! Oh, wow!
Pity pat, little crossover, finish at the rim.
James Harden is a man who is no stranger to controversy, from hanging out at strip clubs to bad-mouthing his own team's management on live TV. He's done it all. But the weirdo with the beard is a complete freak on the hardwood. From handles to shooting, he's got it all, and what says it better than his playoff game against the Celtics, which some are calling his greatest playoff game of all time, scoring a jaw-dropping 45 points against the Celtics, crossing over the likes of Jaylen Brown and ending it with a highlight-worthy layup.
Well, there you go again, Doris. Mitchell on Curry, slammed on the brakes. Oh my goodness! Curry!
What better way to talk about Curry's amazing athleticism than what has to be one of the best shots in the playoffs? Curry showed us his skill with a phenomenal behind-the-back crossover. And keep in mind, while running, he still managed to pull it off and shot an awe-inspiring three-pointer while falling to the floor and still scored. Sometimes we think he's just playing the sport in easy mode. Man's got built-in aim assist.
I want to try to keep looking for him, running off of screens, getting open.
41-27, here's Jaquez. Oh, Bogey got pushed. No call, and Jaquez hits a three.
Jaime Jaquez Jr. was the 18th overall pick for the Miami Heat in this year's draft. One of the few Mexican players in the league, he's made quite a name for himself as a rookie. For the tall guy that he is, he's got some pretty good handles. And those aren't just words. He's proved that with his impressive game against the Atlanta Hawks, scoring 20 points and 4 assists. Now, those are some hefty rookie numbers. Jaquez sent the Hawks guard Bogdan Bogdanovic to the floor with his between-the-leg crossover and followed through with a three-pointer early in the second quarter.
That just shows you, Nick, you got to talk defensively.
You got to get under it.
Whoa, get back up. Trey hits the shot.
Trae Young, a kid we can't ever hear enough of. Trae is one of the best ball handlers in the league right now, and his demeanor on the court shows it. Young was the 5th overall pick in the 2018 draft by the Dallas Mavericks. He was later traded to the Atlanta Hawks and has since made it his home. Aside from my man Doncic, Young is probably the best player from that year's draft, standing at a measly 6 feet 1 inches. It doesn't seem like the player uses his body all that much, but he still uses it in the right way. Over here, Young sent the 76ers guard DeAnthony Melton flying with a slick step back, followed through with an in-between-the-leg crossover, and finally a gut-wrenching three-pointer.
Memphis in front by 8. Drive kick by Hardy. Then Omax moved it to Josh Green. And Green! Well done, breaking down the defense, and there's also a foul.
Josh Green is an Australian forward who was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks in the 2020 NBA draft as the 18th overall pick. Among his accolades, Green was part of the Australian basketball team that won bronze at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. On the night, Green scored all 10 of his points in the first half of the game, before cooling off in the second half. He also finished with 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals, but not before scoring a quick layup against the Grizzlies, which was fueled by the sharpest behind-the-back crossovers we've seen in a while.
Did a good job. Like the move. Banchero, slick move as well on the hammer.
Now, it wouldn't be one of our videos if we didn't bring in a nice dunk at the end, would it? So here goes. Paolo Banchero was the number 1 pick in the 2022 NBA draft, snatched up by the Orlando Magic. Now, he wouldn't really be living up to his reputation if he didn't perform on the hardwood floor, would he? But luckily, that isn't the case. Paolo did everything and performed on the night, scoring a respectable 12 points on the night with 6 rebounds and 1 assist. Banchero crossed over the Pelican star Zion Williamson and followed through with a jaw-dropping dunk. The NBA has seen some nasty ankle breakers throughout its history, but some of them are so good that they make you stand up and clap in amazement. And in this video, we are going over the nastiest, the craziest, and the most shocking ankle breakers in the NBA. From Kyrie Irving's majestic crossover to James Harden's ankle-shattering magic. We have it all. Number 1. KD. Get ready to pick your jaw up off the floor, folks, because Kevin Durant just pulled off the impossible. In a face-off against the Indiana Pacers, KD showcased his unmatched strength and left everyone in awe.
Indiana's 4 of 5 from long range. Durant's got 11. Craig goes down. Durant has got a highlight. KD doing damage from the perimeter.
KD takes the ball and heads for the post, meeting a charge-up defender head-on. Durant decides it's time to give the defender a taste of the dust. With a lightning-quick move of his feet, he jets towards the right side of the court, then seamlessly shifts gears. A little nudge, a lot of finesse, and bam! The defender hits the ground and fades into oblivion. But Durant isn't done yet. Just to add insult to injury, he casually sinks a three-pointer on top of it. Number 2. DeJounte Murray. Being a menace is nothing compared to what this next guy on our list does. Watch out for the real menace on the court, none other than Atlanta Hawks point guard DeJounte Murray. This guy takes humiliation to a whole new level. As Murray charges towards the hoop, he's faced with not one but two opposing players, one in front and another on his back. But here's where it gets wild. Murray pulls a move straight out of the unexpected playbook. He uses his own teammate as a decoy, smoothly positioning himself for a fake shot that throws the defense off balance. And it gets even crazier when Murray pulls a jaw-dropping 360 move. Number 3. DeJounte Murray. This isn't the only instance where Murray has added a touch of entertainment to the game for the audience. As Murray made his move towards the hoop, he sized up Trae like a boss ready to school a rookie. With a sly grin, Murray hit the afterburners, pulling off a wicked crossover that left Trae looking like he stepped on a banana peel. Down goes Trae, and the crowd goes wild. Number 4. Kyrie Irving. Next up, we have the craziness that unfolds when Kyrie Irving is in the house. This guy has a knack for making the opposition look like a bunch of fools. And if you don't believe me, just look what he did to poor Prigioni. Irving strolls up to the opposing post in the most nonchalant way possible, oozing calm and relaxed vibes as if to say, "Hey, no need to worry, folks." Little did they know, Irving had some sinister plans up his sleeve. Spotting an alert Prigioni, who seems ready for anything with his demeanor, Irving decides to unleash his magic. In the blink of an eye, he changes pace, pulls off a mind-boggling crossover between his legs, and sends poor Prigioni spinning around one of his teammates. Number 5. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Moving on, we have what can only be described as the epitome of humiliation. This play is downright savage, and the victim, Denver Nuggets' Justin Holiday. Talk about a wrong day to pick a fight with Shai.
Strong quarter. And they've outscored the Nuggets by 17. Shai dismisses Davon Reed, puts him on the deck, and then...
There they are, face to face in the middle of the court. Shai and the determined Justin Holiday. With Holiday right in front of him, Shai decides it's time for punishment. In a flash, he jets toward the right side of the post, then executes a lightning-quick switch of pace, swiveling the ball around his back. And just to add insult to injury, he stands still for a second, leaving Holiday sliding on the floor like a kid on a playground. Number 6. Andre Drummond. Humiliation doesn't even begin to capture what Andre Drummond unleashed on Chet Holmgren in this play. The scene is set with Chet holding the ball on the Bulls side of the court, aiming for the hoop. Just as he attempts a crossover, Drummond swoops in like a hawk, snatching the ball away with a ferocity that leaves Chet in disbelief. Denied the chance to score, Chet is fueled with determination to reclaim the ball from Drummond.
And Dosunmu, the 5 out there, so a new lineup. Drummond the steal.
Big cat. Take your time, big cat.
Oh, Drummond! Crossed over Chet.
And Drummond, a true basketball beast, decides it's time to impart a lesson that'll be etched in Chet's memory for life. As Chet squares off with Drummond, the latter takes a split second to assess the situation. Then, with lightning speed, Drummond executes a rapid change of direction, leaving Chet on the ground with his ankles utterly shattered. Number 7. Iguodala. When it comes to the next guy on our list, calling it art is a massive understatement. This play, deemed the crossover of the year in 2014, left fans in awe. Picture this: Iguodala poised like a viper, hungry to snatch that ball. A quick pass from an opposing player, and without a second thought, he sprints towards the opposition post. As the opposing defender charges at him, Iguodala pulls off a silky smooth crossover that leaves the opponent bewildered. But that's not the end of it. He follows it up with another crossover, timed to perfection, dropping the defender right on his face. Number 8. James Harden. Alright guys, this next move is straight out of NBA fiction, and you've got to see it to believe it. It's just another day on the court for Wesley Johnson when Harden decides it's time to etch his name in ankle-breaking history. Harden effortlessly floats towards the opposing post, where a determined Wesley is locked in, ready to snatch that ball away. With lightning speed, Harden makes a quick dash, then in a move that defies the laws of gravity, takes 2 steps back and boom, Wesley's ankles twist and he goes sliding across the floor like he's on ice. Harden, in the midst of a game, takes a moment to lock eyes on Wesley, almost as if he's warning him not to stand up again. Number 9. KD. As bad as Wesley was, he still didn't have it as bad as this next player on our list, because not only did he fall down, but he almost did a full split right in the middle of the paint. The player who got his ankles broken is Daniel Gafford. And there is only one player fierce enough to force someone like Gafford to break into a split. Yes, we are talking about Kevin Durant. Just look at what he did to poor Gafford.
Thomas to Durant. The fake. The second. Ankle breaker. KD. Put it on the highlight reel. Oh my goodness.
Talk about getting wrecked. Number 10. Stephen Curry. And speaking of getting wrecked, just take a look at what Chef Curry did to this poor guy's ankle.
Curry, defender falls down, and that makes it 120 to 119. We are under 3 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Cold-blooded. I mean, just imagine the pain this guy went through. And don't even get me started about the humiliation. Poor guy probably couldn't walk straight after that ankle twist, and he had to get up and pretend that everything was fine. And that's Steph Curry for you guys, with just a simple body feint timed to perfection. He was able to drop a defender right on the floor. Some would call that pure luck, but I call it a mastery of the game. Number 11. McCollum. Mastering the game is one thing, but McCollum had mastered the art of breaking ankles. I mean, the dude had some ridiculous ankle breakers. For example, this beautiful piece of art.
Somebody better sign him. If the Mavericks did it, somebody was going to. Oh, wait a minute.
Oladipo on skates. CJ open for 3 and he knocks it down.
Now, you know I brought this up before. Famous Los videos.
Such a magnificent play. The sudden sprint, nailed down. The quick change of pace, perfect. The instant turn, outclass. This guy knew exactly what he was doing, and he did it without hesitating and to perfection. Plays like these are what make basketball one of the most entertaining games in the world. Number 12. Mitchell. And last and definitely not the least on this list, we have Donovan Mitchell's atrocity. This guy knows how to entertain a crowd, defeat the defender, and score all at the same time.
Wesley dumps it back. Whoa! Crossover move by Mitchell. Oh, he's got it. Oh my, as Mitchell with the move decked the youngster in Sohan. He gives the Cavaliers a 15-point lead.
What a beast! He didn't have to think twice about pulling something that most of us would not even consider doing mid-game. With a move like that, you don't just break others' ankles, you break souls as well. That's it for today, folks. Which ones did you love the most? Was your favorite one on this list? Let us know in the comments below.